There are plenty of reasons why real estate contracts get canceled. This is my top 10 list why contracts say sayonara to the sellers. It's Take a Tip Tuesday. Hi, my name is Kristina Smallhorn, your real estate whisperer, providing you the best real estate tips with a dash of humor. Be sure to subscribe now so you don't miss my most beneficial but humorous tips. This week we're going to be talking about real estate killers. There's lots of things that happen during the process of buying a home, and sometimes there's just some things that just make a deal just totally fall apart. Sometimes the buyers are justified and other times they're being a little ridiculous, but all of them will cause your deal to... We're going to start with number 10, and then we're going to work our way all the way up to the number 1 reason why buyers walk away from a real estate deal. And then at the end, I want you to tell me why your real estate transaction didn't go through or why you canceled your contract. Let me know in the comments section. Wood rot. Holy cow, it's so terrible. We live in Louisiana. You're gonna have wood rot. It's gonna happen. And it happens a lot of times around windows and around the bottoms of your trim around your house on the outside. And sometimes it actually comes on in the inside. But it's not something to totally panic over. Now, if every single window around your house that you're about to purchase has this wood rot, well, yeah, then be concerned. And also you want to check to see if there's anything else that's going on there, not just the wood is rotting. But if the sellers are willing to fix it and there isn't an additional problem other than the windows are old, maybe consider not actually canceling your contract if you fall in love with the house. I know a lot of times you think, oh, like how the house is just totally falling apart. But you gotta remember, we live in Louisiana. It rains and things get moist and some things actually rot. Number 9, we already know, we live in Louisiana. Number 1 state for what? Wood destroying insects. Most commonly, termites. And I know they can be pretty scary little creatures. Those little tiny things can tear up a house, especially a termite called a Formosan termite. I hope I'm saying that right. So just remember that if you have this problem, see how big the problem is. If your home inspector says that the house has termites, get with a pest inspector to see how extensive the damage is. And then get with another inspector to see how much it's actually gonna cost to repair all of that damage. If it's not too much, you may not wanna run away from the house of your dreams. Number 8 is the sewer. It's a poopy subject that no one wants to talk about, but it happens all the time. People will have the same sewer system for the last 25 years that has worked just fine for them, but the parish has said, you need to update it. It can be awfully expensive. And sometimes the sellers are saying, nope, we're not gonna fix it. And the buyers are like, well, we're not gonna buy your house. I can't really blame the buyers on this one because, you know, it is their poopy problem. It's getting hot in here. Some sellers just will not fix their HVAC system. They've been ignoring that thing for years. They've never had it serviced and it needs to be repaired, and they're just like, well, we've been fine with it. We just love to keep our house at 78, dying of sweat. Buyers are saying, forget it. The sellers are saying, well, we gave you a home warranty. But guess what? Your home warranty company says if it's a pre-existing condition, they're not gonna fix it. But if the sellers had had that home warranty service beforehand, before they put their house on the market, they would have actually had that covered. This is a good time if you're thinking about listing your house to go ahead and put that service agreement on your property before you actually list the house. So if there is a problem with your HVAC system, that the warranty company will cover it and you won't have to go worry about that cost. I've actually done a video on home warranties. If you want to see that one, you can go ahead and click right here. Old plumbing. It can be super scary. You love that antebellum house down the road and it has been calling to your dreams since you were a child. You get in it, it's for sale, it's at a great price, you love everything about it. The house has been taken care of impeccably. Then you have that home inspection and the pipes are awful. That antebellum home with the beautiful trees that have been hanging over it has roots just growing and growing and growing and growing, and then you can't even flush the toilet without the whole front yard just blow it up, and it's super expensive. If the sellers are unwilling to fix it, I don't really blame a buyer for walking away. Looks like I need to update some wiring. We're pretty lucky here in Ascension Parish and most of Baton Rouge that we have a lot of new construction, so we don't have to worry about old wiring. But when you go in some of these other houses, the wiring can get really expensive. Some sellers can't afford to change out the wiring, and a lot of buyers are unwilling to put in the cost themselves. So this can be one of those deal killers that may just end up on the table and nobody ends up selling a house. Whoa, that foundation is falling apart. And you can actually see it a lot of times when you're walking in these houses, when you're doing an inspection. The eye shows you everything. Just like walk outside the door and look out on the bricks and you can see a big giant crack forming. A lot of times you can follow these cracks from the outside of the house all the way to the inside of the house. Make sure that your home inspector is aware of this crack if they haven't seen it themselves, and if you feel like that you need an additional inspection from a foundation repair company, make sure you do that. It's worth the investment to find out if the house does have a foundation issue. It's not that uncommon in Louisiana to have a house that needs to have the foundation refixed, and if the sellers are unwilling to do it, find out what the cost is and see if it's something you want to do for yourself. Before you even put an offer on that house, check to see how old that roof is. Here in Louisiana with the non-stop rain, and we have had our fair share of hurricanes, roofs around here tend to last not the 35 years that they're supposed to be. Check to see how long the roof has been on the building. See how many storms it's actually lived through, and you can actually do like a little visual repair when you're going to look at this house to see if the corners are peeling up. Again, I'm not an inspector, but I've been to enough inspections that I know that's one of those things that they look for. Roofs can get pretty expensive, and if sellers are unwilling to put in a new roof, that is definitely one reason why a buyer will just go out the door. Now, this is no joke. Mold is extremely dangerous, and we've had our fair share of mold problems happening since 2016 when we had that great flood that came through. If you were one of those people that was affected by the 2016 flood, make sure you have proper documentation of how you treated the house before you put it back together. If you're a buyer and you're concerned about mold in the house because the house had flooded previously, make sure you have a specific mold inspector come through and test the air quality in the house, so that way you know that you're keeping your family and your investment safe. And the number one reason why real estate deals fall apart, it's not because of the sellers, it's because of the buyers. They end up doing something that they don't even think about, which is they mess up their financing. Sometimes some buyers are not necessarily honest with their paperwork with their lender, and it gets down to the days before the closing and all the stuff comes to the surface because lenders find out everything. Or they end up taking out some kind of personal loan, and that will mess up their credit score so they can't purchase the house. Or lastly, they end up doing something where they didn't even think about it and they buy a refrigerator like I did, and that will throw off their credit score so they're not able to purchase. Mistakes happen. That happens to all of us. But that is the number one reason why real estate deals go. If you want some more information about buying and selling your home, make sure you click the playlist right here. This one's for selling and this one's for buying. If you don't want to miss any of my great real estate tips with a dash of humor, go ahead and subscribe here and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my great tips. My name is Kristina Smallhorn, your real estate whisperer for Ascension Parish, and I tell you all this because you matter.